yet, there's another version that even shows this fact more clearly. In The Wiz, the Scarecrow isn't alone. He's surrounded by others, by voices, by energy. And everything around him reflects what he believes about himself. There's even a song. You can't win. You can't break even. You can't get out of the game. And it's not just a song, it's an anthem. Because when the mind believes something deeply enough, it begins to create evidence. You start to notice things that confirm the belief. You start to hear messages that match it. You start to feel like this must be the way things are. And this is where it becomes powerful because it can begin to feel permanent, to feel like it's a reality, a fixed reality, like something you can't change. But that's what actually happens. You start living those thoughts, you start believing those voices, you start letting it flow in deeply. But what's actually happening is that the mind is reinforcing itself. This is something we all do. We look for confirmation of our fears. We replace the thoughts and replay the thoughts that limit us. We surround ourselves sometimes unconsciously with environments that reflect what we already believe. But that doesn't make it truth, it makes it a pattern. It's a pattern shaped by fear, by doubt, by a lack of true insight into who we are. And this is why what happens next matters. Dorothy doesn't argue with him, she doesn't try to convince him, she simply helps him down. She frees him from the pole, from being stuck, from one position, one belief, one identity. And when she helps him down, something important happens. He doesn't immediately stand strong. He doesn't suddenly become confident. He is unsteady, wobbly, and tries to find his balance. Because even though he's free from the pole, he's still learning how to move. And this is what transformation actually looks like. It's not instant mastery, but gradual integration. And in The Wiz, there's a realization. The only thing that was keeping him on the pole was his mindset, not his ability, not his structure, not his potential, just what he believed. And once he steps down, even though he's unsure, he keeps moving. He doesn't go back, he doesn't return to something being stuck. With each step, he becomes more stable, more grounded, more free, until eventually he begins to move with ease. And then something beautiful happens. The soundtrack begins. The bass line comes in. The guitar starts playing. The piano starts going. You hear the dun 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 dun, and he begins to dance. Not because he's gained something new, but because he's no longer held by the belief that he lacks something.